Today's Wednesday, November 4th, 2015, and you're tuned into the Elevator Radio Show. The Elevator Radio Show is a proud supporter of the Elevator Escalator Safety Foundation. To find out how you can make a difference, visit their website today, www.esf.org. Hey, everybody, got a good show for you today, so stay tuned. Here it comes.
You're tuned in to the Elevator Radio Show, a weekly program dedicated to covering news and information on elevators, escalators, and moving walkways. Produced in the wee hours of the morning, a new show is uploaded every Wednesday, sometimes even before you get out of bed. Listen to some of the comments sent in from our audience.
Rob from New York writes, Tom, are you f***ing insane? You actually get up at 2 a.m. each Wednesday to put this show out? Man, you must love elevators. Tim from Illinois writes, I'm not sure why I listened, but ever since I tuned into the first show back in 2007, I've been addicted. Matt in Texas writes, I like your safety messages, Tom. It's important to remember them each and every day. And he also adds,
when am I going to win the monthly prize pack giveaway?
Ron from California sent this in. Despite your inability to pronounce words in the English language, I tune in each week and am glad that you offer this service to the industry. It's better than Google News alerts. Sarah from Washington writes, love the show, Tom, and look forward to it each week. I'm glad I signed up for the newsletter. You provide a valuable resource for the industry, not only for North America, but worldwide.
Enjoy the show. And now, here's your sleep-deprived host, Tom Seibert.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, everybody. And boy, am I sleep deprived. I sure am. I'm telling you, it's been a busy, busy weekend and week, and I hope everybody out there had a great Halloween. Oh, man, where do I start? It's one of those deals where, ever have one of those days that just totally, pulls you down into the depths of the deepest pit that you don't ever think you can get out of, but you do. And honestly, I always tell my wife, I'm like, you know what? It's days like these that make you appreciate the good ones. And that's really the only way that I can look at it. And so hopefully if anybody out there is going through the same, same kind of day after day or whatever with the same kind of deal, you're kind of dealing and putting it in perspective in that way. Because it really makes you appreciate the days that are good as opposed to the days that are hard and bad and all that good stuff. So yeah, between last week's program and the show, had everything ready to go and just could not, ran through it all, and basically there's nothing there. There's no audio, there's no nothing. I'm like, oh, great. So I should have just slept in, but I didn't. So that's kind of started the deal off. The weekend was packed. We had our local high school went to their first playoff round for states, and their class. Friday night was a long, exciting game, which they lost. Close one, 61-59. Very exciting. Then Saturday, what did we have Saturday? Saturday was, I had a bike race up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where it poured. And then Sunday was my my 8th graders' final playoff game, where they basically handed the other teams behinds to them in the 3rd, 4th place, which was awesome to see. Great way to end the season. So, and then we had Halloween thrown in there as well, which unfortunately here in the Chicagoland area was rainy and cold. So the number of trick-or-treaters out there really was non-existent, which was fine with me, but I felt kind of bad for the kiddies. Had lots of lots of candy left over, dressed up as a unicorn. For one of the trick-or-treaters, I think I scared the heck out of them, and as I could not see out of my mask, and literally, I think most of the candy was taken out of the bowl during that. So, but man, yeah. So yesterday, I could not sleep. Had a big computer upgrade that needed to go in. Got up at 2, came into work, started the upgrade, and it was an absolute nightmare. I hate computer upgrades when it deals with accounting systems, because at the end of the day, all it provides you is just a headache, and really what you get in return is just a bunch of stuff pushed to you, thinking you're gonna, buy these value-added services that these companies provide, and it just drives me crazy. I swear. It's so like literally every computer that I went to had a different issue. So not only did it kind of kill our productivity for the day, but it was just it was like nothing was easy. I still have one more computer to go this morning before it's all said and done. And then our shipping system that interacts with, interfaces with it all is still fouled up. So it's like, I just cringe whenever I see you need to update your software for your accounting system. I just like, oh, you got to be kidding me. Can't this be easy? And as I look at all the cloud-based systems out there and the apps and all the, ads on Facebook that say, oh, handle your accounting with FreshBooks. And, you read all that stuff. And at the end of the day on those things, it's like it doesn't give you enough information. And I think part of the problem is that most of these systems and software systems are designed by people that don't do any kind of accounting work. So that's what the issue is. And it is as good as half of this stuff looks online or the advertisements they run, there's nothing substantial that gives you any kind of idea of whether or not it's a good fit for your business or whatever. So, oh my gosh, yeah. So I could complain all day long, but I'm not going to, because today is another day. It's another day to fight, and we will fight each day till we are in the ground. Yeah, there you go. So anyway, okay, so that's about it. I hope everybody is kind of, I don't know, just putting everything in perspective, taking a deep breath, because that feels good too. It does feel good to take a deep breath. But anyway, got a good show for you today. Not very long, but I did pull some articles from last week's program because I thought they were worthy of chatting about. Plus, there was one I don't think that was linked up correctly either way, but we did throw that over on the Facebook page. So anyway, last 2 days I'm pretty much running on 4 hours sleep, which I'm sure many of you out there doing as well. But just hang in there. Another day, 3 more days until the weekend, and then we can take a deep breath. So, okay, so did not get a chance to check on the emails. I know I got about 185. I know most of them are spam, but I do apologize for not getting back to you. If you ever need to get in touch with me where it's really immediate, please do so on my day email address, which is tom.sybert, S-Y-B-E-R-T, at cjanderson.com. I'm linking to that no matter what, and that gives me enough stuff to do, during the day and paying the bills and whatnot. So anyway, yeah, let's get into the news, and we'll have you out of here in no time at all. And again, as always, thanks for tuning into the show. It's hard to believe we're coming up on our, I don't even know what year it is. Maybe, I have no idea. I'm not going to stick my foot in my mouth because I always think it's like 5 years, but it's a lot longer than that, I think. I think we started in, 2005? No, it can't be 2005. That can't be right. Can it? I don't know. I'll let you know when our anniversary comes up. Maybe we'll have a birthday cake or something like that. Okay, up next is the news. As always, send your email comments to elevatorradioshow@gmail.com. There's a good chance I'm not going to get back to you for a little bit, just until things settle down a little bit, if that'll ever happen. So, and unfortunately, it's busy at work in different areas, and then it's also busy on the home front. Football's over, but volleyball has started full swing. I forgot about that. We had a tournament on Sunday. So yeah, it's like, man, in addition to practices and carpooling, and again, I really give everybody out there credit who has been doing this since their kids have been tiny, because my wife and I were not the parents that just, that our kids were involved in everything. I mean, a little bit of soccer here, volleyball, 7th, 8th grade, 6th grade, and that's about it. So now we're like in the thick of it, and I don't know how I would have been able to do it back, if we were little, running around like crazy people. But anyway, again, hats off to those of you that do that and have been doing it forever. You are amazing. So anyway, up next, we'll get right into the news.
Let this week's news stories give you a lift on what's happening in the vertical transportation arena. Each news segment is organically dug and fresh with news stories of the week. Got lift? If not, stay tuned.
All right, this is show number 410, week of 11/4, November 4th, 2015. And yeah, I forgot, we're going to have a prize pack giveaway at the end of the program, so stick around till the end, and you might become our eligible winner, and which is a $100 gift card, along with some great goodies given away by the companies listed in the blog post. Thank you. Okay, first news article, very serious one, and this one kind of popped up really all over the place. Apparently, a New York Post reporting a woman falls down an elevator shaft in Midtown Hotel. She fell 6 feet down an elevator shaft on Sunday. Emergency crews rushed the scene, and she's listed in okay condition. which is good. Apparently, yellow caution tape blocked the open doors of an elevator at the hotel after the incident. Oh, yellow caution tape. Yeah, sure. Oh, hopefully the doors are closed. I'm assuming the doors are open with yellow caution tape, but I'm not going to make that assumption. I'm assuming, okay, yeah, okay. Forget that assumption and that sarcastic statement. Anyway, we wish she's okay, and I'm sure that we're going to find a little more information as this story progresses. Next article kind of ties hand in hand with that, if it will ever load up. Let's see here. Okay, this is going to be a pain if I got to keep going back and forth. Mayor de Blasio went to Albany basically is battling in Albany over elevator safety. City Hall opposes legislation that would have mechanics and others who oversee maintenance of 70,000 elevators in cities' high-rise buildings. Oh, great. I didn't ask for that. Anyway, the measure would also require that elevator mechanics undergo extensive training before obtaining a license requirement in some other states. Okay, so apparently... Okay, is Mayor de Blasio battling against this? He opposes legislation. Why would you oppose it? Let's see here. Yeah. But, okay, so here we go. Here's the statement. We can't continue to have people without licensing or training work on elevators, said Mike Halpin, president of the 2,600-member International Union of Elevator Constructors, who supports the bill. Public safety is an issue. They would take the politics out of this. People are dying, added Halpin, who has discussed the bill with Governor Cuomo's office. Cuomo's. I know I'm not pronouncing that right, and I apologize. I know how to pronounce it. I just can't for some reason. It's early. But the de Blasio administration official said that state law is unnecessary because the city's buildings department already has strong elevator licensing regulations and oversight, and data shows elevator use has become safer. Okay. Which is maybe true. I don't know. So what are the licensing regulations? It seems like it's a contradiction of the article. Anybody like to share a little bit more on this? Feel free to. I'll post this over on the Facebook page too. Hopefully get some traction because, I don't 100% quite understand this. So, but again, it's early. Okay, tomorrow is the Chicago Elevator Association meeting. If you are in the Chicagoland area, please attend. GAL will be presenting. It's going to be held at the Clubhouse at Oak Brook, Illinois, 60523. I will not be in attendance for that meeting. I do have to do carpool duty for volleyball. But the Chicago Elevator Association holiday party, Christmas party, has also been is on the books. It's also in that post, so go ahead and check that out. I think it is the first Wednesday in December, but I could be wrong. Just verify that so I don't have to go back and forth. Okay, if you're interested in the Canadian elevator and escalator market, this is from PR Newswire. Also, there's one for South Korea, which I didn't link up. I don't think too many of us are, have a huge market share in South Korea. Did I say South Africa? I'm sorry, whatever I said, Korea. But this one is in Canada, and basically the headline is Elevators, Escalators Market Report 2015 to 2019 has Kone Otis Ram Manufacturing, which I've not heard of before, Savaria, Schindler, ThyssenKrupp dominating the market. As many of us know, the Canadian economic market is suffering through or in a recession right now. If you've seen the Canadian dollar, compared to the American dollar, that is so. But if you're interested in obtaining that, you can click on that. Link is in the show notes. Okay, Channel 4 NBC Washington has had a article which I thought was interesting. Metro trains bypass Bethesda Station after escalator, outage. I thought it was elevator outage as well, but apparently, the Bethesda Station moves quite a few people, and the worry was that, people would use the escalator as a stairway, I believe, and that would be a problem. So they did get it going, and again, it seems like a slow day in Washington to be reporting on such a thing, but it is what it is. Okay, next news article. Man, it is a pain in the butt to have to go back and forth like this in the news site. If you're watching the video, I got to go back and forth and load the page up, and it's like, man, I can preview this and just keep it online? No, I cannot. Okay, so we'll just do it how we're doing it. Okay. kind of a cool article if you've been, reading into the elevator world, online exclusive articles. Here's a pretty neat one, and this was written by John Antona. Title of it is Introducing Exit Strategy by Raymond Batalora, professional engineer, and Jack Sawyer, AIA. Having just completed a similar project for Elevator World occupant evacuation elevators, I was attracted to Exit Strategy, which opened my eyes with envy at such a great choice for a title. The articles provides 10 important tips for developing life safety floor plans for construction or renovation of assembly occupancies, such as theaters, banquet halls, restaurants, nightclubs, art galleries, bowling alleys, libraries, museums, arenas, and stadiums. All are clearly defined in the International Building Code under the assembly group of whatever is there. But anyway, it was pretty interesting in terms of the author of the articles working with the local AHJ to review plans and work closely with the fire department to really make sure that buildings are in compliance with this, and then also provide the best possible exit strategies in the event of an emergency evacuation for a building. So I think this is pretty cool. I think there are so many times where architects or consultants either specify or drop buildings not taking this into consideration to the fullest extent that it should be. And so I thought it was a really good article, really, really interesting, kind of put things in perspective and something I had not thought about before. So really, I think that's a really good article. I encourage you to check it out, link it, share it, love it. All right. A little bit too much excitement on that, right? Yeah. I've only had one cup of coffee. Okay, next news article, safety upgrades for elevator discussed, and this was coming from the Oakland Post. Oh, this is not the same one. I apologize. Anyway, this next one is Oakview elevator broken and unfixed for 20 days. Interesting piece here. Looks to be a relatively newer elevator. I was going to, comment that, oh man, sometimes elevator parts are not easy to get, especially if they're a lot older. But the reality is that, it came up in an elevator U. It came up in an elevator U roundtable discussion at last year's conference at Ohio State, where somebody, I forgot who stated it, but said, hey, listen, would you go without your car being fixed for 20 days a year in terms of what you use or your heat or your whatever? And it was an interesting perspective, really, to compare the two because, yeah, you're right. Would you go without having a car for 20 days? Unfortunately, I've had to go without a car for 20 days, and it doesn't feel very, very good. But thank goodness we don't have to go with heat. And it just reminds us of how important the jobs that we do each day, and especially for those that require increased accessibility for any building that is multiple floors on a open college type setting. So, again, if you're an elevator user or end user, it's a good idea to put into your contract, in terms of how long elevators can be down for or what's acceptable, what's not acceptable, et cetera, so that everybody's on the same page. And you just, when an elevator breaks down, I say, well, it's going to be X amount of days. Maybe even come up with a spreadsheet list that say, hey, this is how long your elevator could be out if so-and-so goes down. That'd actually be a good thing to have as a sales tool or a recommendation for your elevator proposal. Okay, so if this goes down, this could possibly be the time involved with getting a replacement for it or a repair, et cetera, et cetera. So those of you who are contractors out there, it might be good to kind of just say, hey, listen, I warned you. If you weren't going to make these changes, you're going to come into the this issue. Great news blog post from Elevator World Unplugged from actually it's not Unplugged, I apologize. It's actually from the editor's overview. Risha Hendrick did an awesome job at talking about safety awareness that counts, and as it does count, reminds me of a commercial that I watched the other night while laying in bed, and it was on Subaru's new, one of their new cars, and it has the impact collision sensors to prevent an impact from occurring. And it hit me right there and then. These systems to stop an impact from from occurring, like you running into another car or something else, was solely created because of texting. Do you realize that? Because texting is such an issue, we cannot stop it. You can write as many laws as you can, I think that's the number one reason why accidents occur is being distracted in the car. The car manufacturers have come up with a device or a system, put it in place, so that the car takes over in case you're still being stupid behind the wheel. It's genius. It's genius. It's unfortunate, but it's genius. So, education is key, but man, I don't know. Maybe we'll get to the point where we have cameras on elevators, people monitoring on elevators or escalators that pretty much say, "Hey, stop jumping on the elevator," or, maybe elevators will become smart and escalators in the sense where if they can predict or they can sense something happening that shouldn't be, it just tells you. Unfortunately, I have to tell you in 18 million different languages, depending on what it was. But man, maybe that's the next thing for, stopping stupid. I don't know. I just thought that was interesting, though. But great article, Risha. Thank you for writing it, and it's definitely a good thing to, cover. Okay, boy's foot caught in escalator shopping mall. This did not happen here in the United States. Happened in Kuala Lumpur. I pronounced that right. But yeah, anytime you see images like this, these are preventable. The escalator didn't grab the little boy's foot and pull it into the device. They don't do that. They do not do that. They just run people up and down. That's it. Stairs that move. There's no pinch points. There's no, you know what I mean? There are pinch points, but they're safe. They're relatively safe to ride. If you ride them correctly, they are safe. Sigh. Okay, next article. Yeah, this is the article link that I was not correct in last week's show note regarding the child who falls 2 floors after playing on an escalator, little girl. I'm not going to play the video, but it's not there either. They took it down. Darn it. Well, Google it because it's amazing to see how quickly things happen and how quickly things get out of control and how screwed up and how lucky this little girl is because honestly, I don't know how she survived what she survived. All right. And I swear to you, I don't know how to make, I don't know how many signs you have to put. I just don't know. I don't know how, other than educating kids and parents, we have to reach more kids and parents, get the word out. Bottom line. Okay. Elevator World Unplugged covered or wrote about the new game show Hellevator. And I got to say, I've not watched it. I don't have GSN TV. Is that Gas Station Network? I think it's a Gas Station Network, but I could be wrong. But you know what? Why drag elevators into something called hell? Or even, term it that way. I mean, it's just, come on. Don't. There's so many other things. Basement hell. I don't know. Abandoned building hell. Okay, if you haven't already heard, MCE Incorporated released an immediate action required technical bulletin regarding unintended motion protection, and it is directly resulting or affecting or not affecting. It directly involves their iControl and Motion 4000 series controllers. Models are listed below in the technical bulletin. This came out, so I encourage you to print it, share it with your mechanics. If you're a mechanic, make sure you've got all your stuff. If you've got questions, contact them directly, and they can kind of help you out on what you got to do. So make sure you have verified, you checked it, and software or whatever changes have been done have been done. Huffington Post, living in Canada, has a post. I want this blog post down. Take a look at the image. This is terrible because it shows Rick Hansen, who conquers escalator like the boss he is. You know what? I foresee the boss that he is tumbling backwards on this. And for those that may not be able to read and just look at photographs, say, oh, I can take my escalator on the escalator, my wheelchair on the escalator, is not the message that we want to be promoting. So, you know what? yeah, this is just stupid, and it really sends the wrong message across the border. And I truly hope you don't fall backwards someday because you're being stupid. Um, that's all I have to say. That is all. Man, it's hard enough to stop stupid people from doing stupid things. But when we have smart people doing stupid things, that's a whole nother story. Next news article. Elevator Riders Riding Club has posted regarding their 2015 club members ride. Man, it was epic, so I hear. They headed out after the NAAC Boston show through Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Maine on Friday and Saturday. It was October 1st and 2nd. And it was raining, man. They had members from Illinois, Nebraska, New York, New Jersey, Tennessee, Texas, Massachusetts. It's pretty cool. So I give you guys all the credit in the world for the ride that you guys went on. The photos are awesome. Also, thank you to Elevator Riders Riding Club for the poker run fundraiser that you held during the NAC convention. It is greatly appreciated. Funds that were collected and raised went directly back to the ESF. And without your support, foundation would not be what it is today. So greatly appreciate that. Yeah. Hopefully next year it'll be a little bit better weather. Although in Canada, it might be questionable. We will find out. Next news article, ThyssenKrupp announces elevator monitoring solution called, it's not in here. I didn't post it. Oh, yeah, no, it is in there. It's in the Time text section, which is kind of interesting. Okay, advertisement closed. Read the article. I mean, it kind of sounds as if it's something similar to, what your car system has and your maintenance light indicator that kind of tells you when you should do an oil change based on your, how many miles you've ridden or whatever. But yeah, I think ideally, when you look at a vehicle or anything that's mechanical, why not have sensors that, indicate and provide that information on what you should be doing? I think that's a great idea. Elevators today, compared to the mechanical ones of yesterday, probably require a little less maintenance in terms of moving parts. Still not to say that they don't require maintenance at all, because that's not good. But still, I think pretty interesting. Not a whole lot on their website as of yet, but this MAX system is going to be a cloud-connected service, will provide ride efficiency while also alerting building maintenance staff to potential problems before breakdowns happen. So if you think about this, if a building maintenance manager got a text or an email saying, hey, your email is due for, I don't know, an oil change, which we all know that's not true. Well, it could be, but anyway, hydraulic elevator. Basically, it would give them a note what's going on. It's actually a good communication tool, I got to say. So I think it's pretty interesting. I'm surprised, more of this isn't out there. Maybe it is. I don't know. I'm not on that side of the on the fence, so to speak. So, but kind of a cool article. Next article: elevators in the news. 100 years. I should have deleted this one because it doesn't really matter. But apparently, 100 years ago, from October 27th, elevator was a dangerous object in 1915 when Miss Edith Adams discovered at the American Hotel in Spokane. Anyway, she was standing with one foot in the elevator while she awaited the return of the elevator operator. She's holding it. She was chatting with a friend, idly toying with the. Oh, nice. Chatting with a friend, pulling on the car switch handle. Oh yeah, and then suddenly it went up. Oh man, she turned upside down, was dangling head first, her feet at the top of the elevator door. She hung there, head downward for an instant while the car continued its Oh man. She was rushed to Sacred Heart Hospital, but had yet to regain conscious. I don't think that ended very well. Yeah. You know what? I don't think it's fair to say that elevators were a dangerous place. You needed to know how to run them. You needed to know how they worked. And obviously something was not working correctly. And probably 100 years ago, 1915, maybe they didn't have door locks. I don't know. They must have had something. Ugh. Anyway. I just visualized that whole thing, and it's not a pretty picture. Okay, next news article. Oakview Elevator and Fix. I actually covered that in an earlier article by accident. Teaching elevator etiquette to the grandkids. I love this. As a grandparent or a parent, it is your duty to teach your kids how to survive in life. Whether they listen is another story. But I love this. So if you're a grandma or you're a grandpa, please do your part in teaching your grandkids, how to live in the world safely. That includes elevator escalator safety. That includes how to cross the street. That includes everything. Because at the end of the day, your grandkids adore you. They love Papa and whatever the woman, and Grandma, or Grandpa and Grandma. They really, really do. So use that to your advantage and teach them whatever you can. Really, please. Love it. And this is just etiquette. It doesn't really go into the safety part. It does a little bit, but just, go that route. Okay, next article. The importance of our industry. Harlem residents offline elevators force physically challenged people to take the stairs for weeks. Again, I can't hit it home enough. As much as we do our best each and every day, and obviously it's not always the best. It's not always good enough. The reality is that our jobs are so important. No matter how we touch this equipment, it's really important. So continue that priority. We all ultimately work for the riding public or those that require our devices to get up and down and do what they can. It's huge. And we can't forget that each and every day, even though some days it is difficult. And the next and last news article of the show is the video that features the newest ESF safety heroes. I encourage you to check them out. They are cool looking. They are new. They're fresh. And the Safety Rider website, safetyrider.org website is in the process of being revamped right now. So that'll tie everything in nicely together so that the package that will be available online will be there for kids to go visit. Your grandkids can go check it out. So pretty cool. Hopefully that'll be done in the half. Anyway, well, that's going to do it, everybody, for the show. I told you it was going to be short and sweet, and I delivered on my word. As always, it is great to be here. Thank you for tuning in today. Be safe. Oh, yeah, the prize pack giveaway. I apologize. Let me get to my random number generator here. I forgot all about that. How could I forget? All those great companies are listed there. All right. I'm going to go in. Okay, got my email list generated. And if you haven't already subscribed to the email, go over and do so. It is, again, we've got a new list that's kind of morphed into two. So if you're not getting the email, go over to elevatorradioshow.com. All the way at the bottom of the page is where you're going to find what you need. And then just confirm it. I can't enter you because you got to confirm it. And if you can't, somehow do your home or some other one. Okay, the winner is going to be $491. $491 on the list. All right, $491. Jeff from Pennsylvania. I haven't had a winner from Pennsylvania in a while. Jeff S. Jeff, you are an elevator mechanic. Congratulations. You are the 2015 November Prize Pack giveaway winner. I'll be sending an email shortly to confirm your address. We'll get your goodies out to you as soon as possible. All right, everybody, have a great rest of the week. Be safe. Enjoy this great weather, and think spring. Okay? No, I'm just kidding. Think turkeys. We'll be back next week with the new show. Take care. Bye-bye.